I need a haircut. Welcome back to My Third Life. And I wanted to take a few minutes to just kind of talk about my impressions of Carnivore, Ketovore, in the first month that I've been doing it. It hasn't quite been a full month yet, more like 3 weeks. But I wanted to first start off by talking about my impressions of the things that I bought in my Carnivore shopping trip video. What I liked and didn't like, and what I've done with some of the food that I bought. I'll link that video up here if you haven't seen it yet. But it is a pretty basic shopping trip. Chicken, pork, cheese, butter, and hamburger patties. So basically we'll start with chicken. I bought some frozen like thighs and drumsticks, and then I also bought a whole chicken. The whole chicken I actually ended up putting in the air fryer. It did fit, but once I got it out, I noticed that the top was actually maybe getting burned on the coils. I guess the coils are at the top of the air fryer. So it was a little bit of a tight fit. So I don't know if in the future maybe I would try and cut that up a little bit. It turned out great as far as, the cooking time I would increase for a whole chicken. The dark meat came out great. The middle of the breast was still a little pink though, and I actually had to put that part back in for another 10 or 15 minutes. But all I really did is just cover it in butter and some spices, salt and pepper, and maybe some Johnny's or something. And the skin was great. The crispy chicken skin was fantastic. All the meat was juicy. It turned out really good. As far as size, cooking a whole chicken, it seems like a lot, but really, once you break it down, there's a lot of bone, a lot of breastbone, and dark meat I ended up eating right away, all of it. And so the white meat I saved and used in different dishes throughout the week. So it turned out really good. The pork loin roast was fantastic. About the only problem I really had with that was the size of it. It was almost 5 pounds. So for one person, it was quite a lot. And I ended up having leftovers for like a week, which, after 2 or 3 days kind of gets a little old. But I will say it was fantastic. I covered it in butter and then some spices. And when it came out, I think I cooked it for about, again, I'll have to look at the video, maybe 45 minutes or something at around 400. And it was juicy in the middle. It was, crispy on the outside, which was fantastic. And so, again, for one person, it was a lot. I ended up eating, cold pork loin slices with cold butter on it. And it was actually really good. I enjoyed that. The only difference would be I would buy a smaller, like a 1.5 pound to 2 pound pork loin roast in the future. But it was good. The bacon, I've said before, I don't really notice much of a difference in taste in different brands of bacon or styles of bacon. For me, just bacon is bacon. So, whatever's cheapest store brand, great value, whatever, it's fine. And it works great in the air fryer. If you want it crispier, do it a little bit longer, less crispy, it's easy. Just throw it in there, let the air fryer do its thing, and then, you empty out your bacon grease into a container to save for later. And the air fryer super easy to just wash out. The burger patties are one thing that I do absolutely notice a difference in taste in different brands, big time. These were the great value burgers, and I like them a lot. Again, you can throw these in the air fryer or throw them in a skillet while you're doing something else in the air fryer. It's super easy. And, it's great having both frozen and, thawed meat options at the same time. That way nothing's going to waste. Butter. Butter is butter. I don't know that I've had enough to notice a difference yet between different brands of butter, and I don't know that I would taste the difference between salted or unsalted, or why you would get one versus the other. But I definitely have gone through a lot more butter than I expected, so I'm pretty much out at this point. I need to go buy some more. So that's one thing. I need to buy more butter. And then that brings us really to cheese, and I've always liked cheese. I really like the string cheese, the mozzarella sticks, the cube cheese. It's all great. If I'm ever wanting a snack, I'll just grab a cheese stick, or first thing in the morning. I'm not really a morning eater. It'll be a couple hours after I get up before I even eat anything, and a lot of times that first thing I eat will be some cheese, or some cheese with, some leftover bacon or sausage. The only thing that I really didn't care for is the shrimp, the frozen shrimp. But, I'm open to trying different things with that. I still have like half the bag left. I tried it in the air fryer, and it was just, it wasn't great. So, my friend Scott, I told him about it, and he's like, "No, you're cooking it wrong. you gotta throw it in a pan with a bunch of butter and seasoning and fry it that way." So I'm gonna try that. I'll give it another shot. So far, the shrimp's the only thing I didn't care for and wouldn't get again. But we'll try it a different way, and we'll see how it is. As far as my thoughts about carnivore, ketovore, I'm definitely not full carnivore. Whether or not I do that, I don't know. But I'm still using small sources of carbohydrates, like condiments, some ketchup or mayonnaise. And even like some shredded cheese, if you look at the label, that has a small amount of carbohydrates as well. So I'm definitely not completely eliminating carbs for sure. But I have reduced greatly. And, like I said, one of the things that I've learned for sure is you really got to look at the label, and you'd be surprised at some of the things that have a massive amount of carbs, like seasoning packets, for like taco seasoning, fajita seasoning, something like that can have, 15, 20 carbs for one little packet, which is crazy. And I've been looking into how many carbs you need to stay under to be in ketosis. And, some places say under 50, some say more like 35 or 30 or even 25. What I'm thinking about doing is actually, doing a video on maybe a day or even every day for a week, and really drill down and focus on the carbs in every single thing, whether it's the one or two from shredded cheese and another one or two from maybe salsa on my eggs, another one or two from, pork rinds that have seasoning on them, barbecue or whatever, and see just exactly how many carbs I'm getting in a day. I don't think it's a lot. I mean, I have the impression that it's, certainly under 50 and probably under 25. But, I still haven't had the so-called keto flu. I still feel great. I mean, there's been a couple of days I felt tired. Maybe one day where I've had a headache, where before I'd have headaches pretty commonly. No stomach issues, no constipation, no diarrhea. Where before I started this diet, you know, the stomach issues were pretty much every other day, every couple of days. So one of the things I was worried about quite a bit was my hematocrit, since I donate plasma twice a week, and it has fluctuated. When I first started, it was going down 50, 49, 48, 47, and then it went back up. And then I stopped and thought about it, and I thought there is some correlation with the kind of meat that I'm eating. It seems like maybe when I was eating just straight pork and chicken, the hematocrit was going down. And then was eating more beef, it went back up. So I don't know. Again, that's just a anecdotal correlation. That doesn't necessarily mean there's a causation there. But overall, my hematocrit seems to be fine. There's no problem with it being excessive or really all that different from what it was before. So I'm good there. And then as far as weight goes, I've talked before about the scale being kind of inconsistent. And so I get weighed twice a week when I do my check-in for the plasma donation. And before I started, I was about 218, and then after I started, it was 216, 212, 215. The most recent was like 210. So there's definitely a downward trend. There's still going to be some variation, even though I go about the same time every time I donate. On the home scale, again, started about 218, then 215, and when I weighed in on camera, it was 208, and then back to 210, 212, and then I think yesterday it was 206 and 205, so it's trending downward slightly overall, but I'm not too worried about it. I had some advice about taping myself. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do that, but we'll see. But, overall, my energy levels are still good. I had one day yesterday where I was tired, just tired pretty much all day, so I just didn't do anything. I woke up early for some reason and couldn't go back to sleep. Like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then ended up taking a long nap around noon, which, is the other thing I haven't really been doing much of since starting this, is napping. So, maybe that was part of the keto flu. I don't know. You tell me. But overall, I still feel great. I'm even to the point where I'm, recommending maybe my daughter try this. I won't get into her medical issues, but from everything I've been looking at and seeing online, and this, maybe could be helpful for her as well. But yeah, the I don't know, one of the most amazing things is just the response I've gotten from like the keto and carnivore community. You all have been really welcoming and great, and really supportive, and offering lots of advice and comments. I've doubled my subscriber count, maybe more than doubled. So really, really happy to be here with all of you going through this, and it's been real interesting so far. It's been a lot of fun. I think in the future, I'm probably going to do a couple of product spotlight videos. I found a couple of products. You probably all know about them, but if you haven't, it'll be new to you. It's new to me, and some things that I've found, beyond this initial shopping trip that I haven't really made a video about yet, and that I've really found that I liked. And I'll probably throw in a couple of, like recipe videos, some things that I do, with my meal, and combining the different meats and whatnot. Let me know what you think in the comments. Y'all have been great about making comments on videos, and I, appreciate hearing from all of you. And, if you haven't subscribed yet and you like this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you don't mind, and give me a thumbs up. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you again.